Hey! How are we doing? Today is Saturday and I've made the intro to this video about 5 times. I made another one yesterday and one yesterday morning. I've been concentrating on making a piece of equipment that I've done without for quite a long time. And if you've seen all my old videos, you'll have seen me making repair panels for the Austin that's behind you. And the piece of equipment I've been wanting to make is a sheet metal bender. And it's been on my to-do list for a long time. And yesterday I came in at tea time and thought, I'm going to start having a look round at all the junk I've got in here to see if I can find enough bits to make one. And it was going to be an hour's worth of video, maybe a bonus video, to put in between, the car videos. But it's taken me so long that I think this might be a video. I don't think you're going to be getting a car video this week. I think you're going to be getting a how to make a bloody metal bending machine. I will try my best to do a bit of work on the car. It is about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I've been in here since 8:30 this morning. And like I say, I had about 4 hours on it yesterday. But we are finally starting to make a very fancy, I would like to add, metal bending. I think they sometimes call them a press brake. I'm not sure if that's because it's foot operated or what, I don't know. Mine's not quite as fancy as that. This video is very long and it's all about making this. So I think what I might do is I might make 2 videos. A speeded up version without any talking, and then this video which will have the thought process. Because I came in here without any idea. I knew what I wanted, but didn't know how to do it. I did look on YouTube at a couple of videos to get a bit of inspiration, but I didn't quite have the skills, equipment, and all the rest of it that some of these clever lads had. So this is my version. I've gone way over the top. It was going to be something dead simple. I've spent too much time on it. I'm going to let you watch the video now, and then you can see what you make of it. Thank you so much for watching. We might come back at the end of this video just to sort of, come to a conclusion, and I'll tell you how much it cost as well. So I'll see you in a bit. I'll just move my trampoline out of the way. Now what I've got here are some lengths of angle iron. It's all scrap. It came out of a shed at my brother's house. It's 50mm by 3mm. And I've got thereabouts, I've got one length at 2 meters. And I've got another length at, oopsie daisy, 685. Now, the one thing I did struggle with was making the bottom flanges that repaired the door panels. And if you measure the door on the outside, it's thereabouts 960mm. I need 3 pieces to make a bending machine. And what I've got, I haven't got 3 lengths that are going to make up 960mm. So I thought, I'll leave it for today, I won't bother, I'll go and buy some more material. I hope I'm in frame. What am I level with? Let me just see if I'm in frame or not. Yes, I should be in. Which I thought, kind of scuppered the job a bit, but if I open the door up on the car, the length of the piece I actually require, bear with me a minute, the length of the piece I require is a lot shorter. Now, let me move my camera so you can see what I'm up to. Put you around there somewhere, there we go. The family have just come back, so bear with me a minute. This is the shortest piece of metal I've got, and it just so happens by complete fluke it's the correct length, to make a new bottom of the door. Brilliant. So we're going to see what we can do today. Now this length of angle iron here is the shortest piece I've got. So this will be the blade. This will be the bit that we clamp down to fold the metal onto. What did I measure it at? 7 something, wasn't it? Hang on. 685. So in theory, when we're done, we'll be able to get a piece of metal, maybe 1.2 mil, maybe 1.5 mil, that we can put a 685mm flange on it. So that is my aim for today. I'm going to clean it up. It's got a bit of round bar welded on there that we had on from a previous experiment, shall we say. So I'm going to get that chopped off. I'm going to clean it up, and then we're going to think about how we make the folding action with the other bits of angle iron I've got. Like I say, I don't want this to cost me anything. I've got a few bits knocking around. I've not quite worked out what I'm going to make the handles out of yet, but we'll have to wait and see what comes a bit closer to the time. Right, I'll get this bit cleaned up. Okay, so I've mentioned that I don't want this to cost me anything. So while I've been knocking about in here, I found some door hinges. Now, door hinges aren't the best hinge for the job, because a door hinge has to create a gap for the door to open, well, to open. Otherwise, there'll be nowhere for the door to open into. Does that make sense? I might make a little video. I might run in the house and make a video of that in a minute to sort of explain myself a bit better. The hinge isn't quite on the same plane, if you know what I mean. You've got the hinge part. I'm not explaining myself very well, am I? Right, this is the best way of explaining it. Door hinges are crap for what I'm doing here. But I've only got door hinges and I don't want to spend any money. I could make something. But there's nothing to hand at the moment, and I've already got these. So we're going to have to try and make these work somehow. And like I've said, when you open a door, it opens a gap at the back that you can see through. And it has to do that so there's somewhere for the door to open to, otherwise it'll get stuck on the hinge and the door frame. Very complex, you see. So I'm going to get a bit of flat bar, maybe this little bit of angle iron, and I'm going to just sit and play and work out the mechanics of the hinge. And when I've worked it out, you'll be the first to know about it. As it is, if you try and bend it, you're going to end up with, you need a space for the material to bend into, but you also want quite a sharp, you don't want it to create a big radius on it, you want quite a short radius. So I think we're probably going to be going that way up. Anyway, it's way harder to explain it. It's all in here, and I need to have a practice on the bench just to make sure that what I think will work, will work. I'm out of breath thinking about it. Let's see what we can do, shall we? Okay, so I'm in a bit of a mess already, but I've been kind of enjoying working out how this is going to work, because you have to slightly offset the hinges, which will make no sense to you as I'm talking about it, but it's going to make no sense at all until I show you it in operation. But I can't really, I need to commit to it because I'm going to weld it. Right, so yeah, it's going to be a bit more obvious once I've committed to welding it. But if you look down the length of the hinge, you can see it's offset to, that's really hard to hold, it's offset to the angle. So let's say that's the centre line, and the centre line lines up with this bit, but not this bit. Yeah, same story that side. So the centre line lines up with this bit and not this bit. So that when it folds up, it gives somewhere for your material to go to. That's the best way I can think of explaining it. I've left a 2mm gap in the middle, which is just about the same thickness as a paint stirrer. So I've got 2 paint stirrers in there. You can just see one poking out the bottom there, and the other one's in there. So I think I'm going to commit to putting a couple of tacks on it, and then seeing what the operation's like. That's the best way I can think of doing it, really. Yeah. Let's see how we get on. Right. I've tacked those hinges on, and the should we call it geometry or should we call it potluck? It's worked out all right. We put the paint stirrers down the gap. Now, when you fold the bender up, let's say you were doing a right angle, which would be there, it leaves us that little gap down the length, and that's somewhere for the work to go to. So we need to remember that this bit is the folder and this bit is the clamp. So I'll write it on now. FC. That'll do it. Excuse me. Now I'm happy that it does sort of work and it leaves the gap down it. I can weld the hinges on. So yeah, this has worked out way better than I thought it was going to. I've seen them making them on telly and they look well complicated. It's just all about offsetting that hinge. Once you offset the hinge, it works flawlessly. Bearing in mind, all I'm doing with this is folding tin. You know, I've got 1.2mm metal for the car. We've got a 2mm gap down there. That should leave us with a radius. Obviously, we've still to try this yet, and I can't try it till I've made the clamp for it. So, yeah, I'm going to keep fiddling around, and then, yeah, I think we're doing all right. Yeah, I think we're going to get a nice cheap folder out of this. Right then, I've sort of dropped a clanger. Not a clanger as such, it's just something that I've just thought about. This is going to be the clamp. This will be the piece of material. This will be the angle that holds the material down that we're going to bend. Now, it never occurred to me at the time, but because this is the same measurement size as this, when you lay it over the top, there's nothing for the back edge to sit on. And I never thought about that. So what I can do is either get the plasma cutter out. We want to cut down there, cut down both sides of it to make the profile smaller, and that way it'll sit over it nicely. Or we'll wait until tomorrow and buy some more angle iron. I don't think I've got any. Have I got any? Don't think so. I will have a look round, but I don't think I've got any more angle iron. Or what we do is we make it wider at the back, and I've got a nice bit of material I could just weld down the back of that would make that look, well, to sort the job out basically. Seems a shame because it's a nice bit of material and I didn't really want I wanted this to be a cheap, it is cheap, it's about £3 a metre. I don't know why I'm moaning. So we can run that down the back of there. So it gives us something for the blade to sit on. Am I making any sense? God knows. I think I'm going to go with this method. I think we're going to weld a bit down the back, make it look nice. Yeah, make it look nice and use that. That'll give us something for the blade to sit on. It's nice and easy. A couple of little strips of weld on that. From the other side, this needs to be flat, doesn't it? So we'll have to weld it from the other side. That'll be all right, won't it? I think so. Right, let's do that. I'm going to explain that again because I've just looked at the footage of that and realised I might as well have been standing down the yard to show you. Right. The width of this, let me try and show you better. Focus. The width of that is less than the opening on that. Does that make sense? So when we clamp that down, there's going to be a gap at the back, look. It's going to have nothing for it to sit on, yeah? So we just need to provide something for it to sit on. That's all we need to do. Okay, so we've got it coming together. I'm going to cut this piece of flat bar the same length as the blade. We're going to weld it onto the static side of the bender. And we'll have a little offcut left over. And I've got a plan for that. There we go then. I've just blasted the paint off that so it'll weld. Got a couple of clamps either end. I've cut those at 45 to make them a bit more user friendly. I will, when I get all the paint off it, round all the corners off because you don't want to be catching yourself with them bad boys. It's also a bit of a finger nipper and I'll explain that in a minute. I'm going to get a couple of tacks on there, then we'll move the clamps inboard. We'll keep on tacking away until we get a nice strong joint on there. There we go then. I've just quickly blasted around the hinges. So they're welded on. I thought I'd videoed it, but clearly didn't. Never seem to film the exciting bits. Typical Nicky boy. I think what we might do is just put a couple of tacks just on top of this, but we'll have to grind them flat so that the material that we're putting in the machine isn't affected by the welds. So I'm going to mark it up so we can space the welds out nicely, grind them flat, and that'll do it for now, I think. Yeah, for the welding process. We've still got to think about how we're going to mount it, but I've got an idea for that. I'll show you that in a minute. Yeah, I need to just let things cool down a bit. It's all a bit hot to handle, so I'm going to give it 5 minutes and I can start moving it around and doing a bit more. Are you lot still here? Today is Saturday, and because of my body clock and working shifts, I was up at 5:30 this morning editing this video, and we're already into it for about half an hour, which is about 20 minutes more than this video really needs to be. But we're going to carry on with this video, and I think what I'll do is make a shorter video for those people who have got an attention span like I've got. Right, so what was I talking about? Oh yeah, that was it. My attention span. Now what we're going to do today is we're going to continue with the old metal bending machine. We've got to mount the clamp on the back, the blade if you like. I've not thought how I'm going to do that yet. We're going to have to see what's knocking around the shed to find some hardware to do that. And then we can start using it. I've got to work on the car, otherwise I'm not going to get a car video out. So I'm going to get ripped in. I'm going to have to get the door down, which is a shame because it's absolutely glorious out there. Yeah, I don't want to spend too much more time on this. I thought about all the paint it up, make it look lovely. Look, I ain't got time for any of that carry on. It's going to be a usable, serviceable tool, and we'll have to worry about making it look pretty another day. So let's get ripped in. Oh, and if you're still here, you've got to put the secret phrase in the comments below, which is, I went out with Nicholas Parsons. Right then, we're going to get ripped straight in today. We need to think of a method of clamping the blade down. This blade will hold your material while you bend it. And I've got some threaded bar here, 10mm threaded bar, and we're just going to go make the holes in the blade, mark it through, and I might just nut and bolt that on, because if I want to put it away somewhere, these are going to get like bent and damaged, or you're going to catch yourself on them and hurt yourself, so it'd be nice if you could remove them afterwards. Right then, no mucking about, let's drill some holes. Right then, we're getting somewhere. It does fold metal. It's just not quite as sharp as I'd like it. And the reason for that is because the blade doesn't quite reach the end of that bit of angle iron, and it's just the adjustment in these little uprights have got this threaded bar. So I'm going to slacken them off, push the blade further that way, tighten them up again, and that should get us a really nice tight 90. Brilliant. Right, I'm going to finesse it for an hour. I don't want to spend too long on it. It's 10 o'clock and I've not worked on the car yet, so yeah, it'll be a job well done. This is. I know it's not the car, but it'll be a job well done. So I'm going to carry on for another hour, see how far I get, and yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. This is water hose, the sort of hose that goes to your heater box on your car. And I've got 2 lengths of it, and I'm going to try and make 2 handle covers so you don't hurt your hands on that bit of threaded bar. The only thing is that that's got a 5/8 internal diameter, which is 16mm for the sake of argument. And we're going to try and get that over that threaded bar, which I think might be a bit ambitious. I don't know if it's going to go or not, but yeah, we'll lube her up and we'll see how we get on. I may have dropped a clanger. That is my progress of winding that on. Right, so I've got it on that far. That's taken 40 minutes. What am I bloody doing? But I'm just determined now. I can't stop now. I've got blisters. dropped a colossal clanger trying to do that, but just out of bloody mindedness, I've got to carry on with it. I had to admit defeat with that hose. I could not get it on. Got blisters on my hands. I tried greasing it. I tried taking the tops off the thread with the flat wheel. Raw, really struggling with that. But while I've been looking around, I found some old handlebar grips. I don't know what they came off. They're off a mountain bike, obviously. But they fit perfectly over that tube. So, is that going to focus for us? So I cut the tube off flush, and now I've got 2 fancy mountain bike handlebar grips instead. Right, and I'm gonna have to make 2 versions of this video because this is just getting ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's about a 3-hour video for making that bloody thing. To the point where I don't think I'm going to get to work on the car this weekend. It's 11:30 and I've got some tidying up to do. I'll see how I feel. You know, I can't keep working on it every weekend. It's going to drive me bonkers. And all the rest of the cars need a wash as well. Anyway, waffling. Let's get this finished off and we'll see what we've got at the end, shall we? I think I've given up on any thought of working on the car today. But I've just spotted something. All the metal that I'm using is pretty much, it's either reclaimed or someone's given it to me or something like that. And these holes, now I've cleaned the paint off, can you see them? How they've been made? And if you're in the building trade, you'll know how that was done. And if you want to comment below, I know how they're done. And it wasn't with a drill. Yeah, so yeah, we're getting there. I think I'm going to paint it. I wasn't going to, but you know, we've got that far now. I'm enjoying myself, which is something that I very rarely come in. No, that's not true at all. I always enjoy myself when I come in here, but today I'm just switching off and it's brilliant. I'm really enjoying it. Right, I'm going to carry on for a bit. If anything exciting happens with between now and the next time I crack the video up, I'll give you a shout. But for now, I'm just getting paint off with a blowtorch. I've got far too carried away with this. I've ended up trying to get all the paint off it. I've had my mask on, my glasses, my headphones, ear defenders, my gloves. But while I've been doing it, and I've spoke to you about it before, these things are absolutely lethal. And I've got blood stains on my t-shirt where it's pierced my chest. And as I was just sort of having to think about what I was up to, I found another one stuck in my arm, look. Where is it? There we go, look. There. Can you see it? It's well in there, look. Ah. my arm's full of them. Always wear your jumper when you're doing that. Bloody bleeding everywhere. Anyway, right, this is coming on great guns. I'm really enjoying myself now. I don't think we're going to have time to work on the car today. It's nearly 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But I think we've come this far. Let's make a right good job of it. I'm going to get the paint out. I've made a handle to lift the blade up while working on it. So that's turned out all right. Just needs a bit of a clean up. Yeah, I'm really enjoying myself. Missed. It's just sort of throwing it down outside. I want to dash out the back and get the washing in. I think we're going to call this video done. We've made something that I've needed for a long while. We've made a sheet metal bending machine. It was going to be an easy project, something that was going to take me 10 minutes. I've had a day on it. Essentially, I had about 4 hours last night. Oh, do you know what? I've had about 9 hours on it getting on. But it's come on brilliantly. You know, we've got the hook on the top so you can lift the work out of it. And we've got a little hook on the side now so that we can hang it up somewhere in the shop. And I don't think it really needs any more than that, really. I think it's done. Didn't know what I was making when I came in here. I got an idea in my head. We followed it through. Not really tried it yet. We have to wait until we get a job on to try it. But yeah, I think this video is going to cool it. I've got to kind of put a hook up somewhere to, to hang it up out of the way. I will try and get a bit of work done on the car this weekend. It is knocking on now. Yeah, 3:10 in the afternoon. I might have an hour fiddling around, see how I get on. But if I don't see you again this weekend, it'll be a thumbs up, like, subscribe, ding your bell, all that carry on. And we'll see you in the next one.